When you open the coop and see one hand guarding the feeder while the others cram into the corners, that's not just chickens being chickens. It's your flock telling you the mix is wrong. Most people blame the mean bird, but in a small backyard, the real trigger is the mix of breeds and one simple space mistake. So in this video, we'll look at 13 gentle, cold-hardy breeds that get along and keep laying through winter. And I'll show you one small coop tweak that quietly shuts down most bullying before it starts. If you're building a flock for a real family yard, not a big farm, you don't want drama. You want calm hens you can trust around grandkids, a small garden, and maybe a dog or two. So we'll keep this simple. First, which breeds act as peacemakers in tight spaces? Then, how much room each bird really needs so bullying never gets started? And finally, how to add new hens to an older flock without turning the coop into a noisy little soap opera and feathers. And along the way, I'll show you why one quiet tweak in your coop layout can matter more than any training trick when it comes to stopping bullying. Let's start with something important. Most backyard bullying isn't because you bought a bad breed or a bad bird. It usually comes from three things combined: the wrong mix of temperaments in a small space, not enough room to get away, only one feeder or waterer that the boss hen can guard. So before we dive into specific breeds, here's a tiny bit of mini value right up front. If you have a tight coop and run, avoid mixing very soft, slow breeds like Silkies and Cochins with very nervous, hyperactive hybrids like some commercial Leghorn crosses. It's like putting a shy person and a hyperactive person in the same tiny room all day and hoping they become best friends. Sometimes it works, often it doesn't. What we want is a flock where most birds are in that calm middle, confident enough to stand up for themselves, but not so intense that they're always looking for a fight. That's what these 13 peacemaker breeds are all about. And as we go, keep listening for the quiet pattern they share. It's going to connect directly to that coop tweak I promised you. We'll begin with the gentle giants, big birds with calm energy that can settle a flock just by being there. Picture a tall, dark hen strolling slowly across the yard, almost like a small turkey. That's a Jersey giant. They can reach close to 26 inches, feel heavy in your arms, and yet most families describe them with the same two words: so gentle. They're usually friendly with people and pets. Their size makes hawks think twice about diving in, and because they're confident, they don't get pushed around easily. In a mixed flock, a Jersey giant is like the quiet bodyguard in the background. She doesn't start trouble, but she doesn't run from it either. For a bit more space and a lot more peace, they're a beautiful anchor bird. Next is the Brahma. Fluffy legs, wide body, a slow, deliberate walk. They look like they're wearing feathered pantaloons. Brahmas are famous for calm, almost regal temperaments, moving slowly, which settles the whole group, and staying productive in cold weather with a bit of light. They tend to rank high in the pecking order, but not by bullying. They just quietly hold their ground. A small backyard flock with a couple of Brahmas often feels calmer right away because the smaller birds read that steady presence and relax. Now, let's shift to some soft-hearted family favorites, birds that often follow you around and love gentle handling. Sussex hens are the ones that notice when you step outside and come trotting over to see what you're doing. They're naturally social and people-oriented, good for families who like to hand out treats, and generally polite with other hens. In a mixed flock, they're more likely to get along than to start trouble. You'll just want to watch that they're not pushed away from the feeder by bossier hens, something that simple coop tweak will help with later. Buff Orpingtons are like golden pillows with legs. They're one of the most classic family chickens because they tend to be very gentle and tolerant of handling, quiet, steady layers of brown eggs, and happy to share space without making a fuss. In a small yard, they're ideal, as long as they're not crammed in with aggressive breeds. Because they're so sweet, they can slip toward the bottom of the pecking order if space is tight. That's our first little hint. The calmer the breed, the more you need the space and layout to protect them. Cochins are round, feathered all the way down their legs, and often just sit. They love to settle on a lap or in a quiet corner. Go broody and mother chicks, sometimes even chicks that aren't theirs. keep a slow, gentle rhythm in the flock. Because they move slowly and don't fight back much, they can be targets in a crowded coop, so cochins are best in flocks where most birds are also calm and where that coop tweak, extra space and multiple feeders, is in place. And then there are silkies, the little feathered teddy bears. They're smaller, with soft fur-like feathers and gentle dark eyes. Most silkies are extremely gentle with kids, make wonderful broody mothers, and fit best with other mellow breeds. Because they can't see perfectly through that fluff, and because they're so soft, they really tell you if your setup is working. If silkies are living peacefully in your mixed flock, you've probably nailed your breed mix and your coop design. If you're already mentally circling a few of these breeds for your future flock, you might want to jot them down. And if calm, practical chicken content like this is helpful, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this backyard flock series. Now let's talk about the steady workers, birds that mix well and keep the egg basket from going empty in winter. Wyandottes are round, medium-large hens with beautiful laced feathers. They're known for easygoing, curious temperaments, strong winter laying, often 240 to 280 eggs a year with some extra light, and being good mothers when they go broody. In a mixed flock, they're usually calm but confident, which is exactly what you want. 2 Wyandottes in a small flock can keep eggs coming when other breeds slow down in the dark months. Australorps are sleek, often black with a green sheen in the sun. They handle confinement well, which is perfect for small backyards. Here's the part most people don't know. Under ideal conditions, a black Australorp once laid 364 eggs in 365 days. Most backyard hens won't reach that, of course, but it tells you how much potential this breed has. In a normal family coop, expect around 200 to 250 eggs a year from a well-cared-for Australorp, with a calm, steady personality. They're a great choice if you want high production without a nervous, flighty bird. Salmon Faverolles look like they walked out of a children's book. Beards, muffs, feathered legs, and a soft salmon color on the back and wings. They're very friendly and a little comical. Good layers, around 180 to 200 eggs a year. Happy foragers that still do fine in a run. Because they're so gentle, they fit best with other calm breeds. In a peaceful mixed flock, they add personality and charm without adding drama. Barred Rocks, the black and white striped chickens, are a classic for a reason. They're hardy and low maintenance, generally sweet and easy to be around, reliable layers of brown eggs. They come from dual-purpose heritage lines, which tend to have far less aggressive pecking than some modern commercial hybrids. That matters a lot in small spaces. We want birds that can live close together without always picking at each other. Barred Rocks are actually a variety of the Plymouth Rock breed, but many hatcheries list them separately. Other Plymouth Rock colors share the same core strengths. Potential for long lives, up to 10 or 11 years with good care. Solid egg production with light tan to slightly pink eggs. Docile hens that fit nicely into a mixed flock. Some roosters can become protective or aggressive, so if you keep a Plymouth Rock rooster, watch his temperament and don't hesitate to rehome a bird that's unsafe around people. Rhode Island Reds are the tough New England workers of the chicken world. They're known for thriving in both heat and freezing cold, laying up to 250 to 300 brown eggs a year, and being active foragers who enjoy working in the yard. Many Rhode Island Reds are calm and people-friendly. Some lines can be a bit assertive, which means space and setup really matter. In a well-designed coop with enough room and multiple feeders, they're excellent, productive backyard hens. Pearl Star Leghorns are a hybrid based on the famous Leghorn lines. They're lighter-bodied, very efficient eaters, and can lay 220 to 300 large eggs a year. They tend to be active and alert, a bit more nervous or flighty than the big, fluffy breeds. So they're best in flocks with plenty of outdoor space, secure fencing, and other breeds that aren't too sleepy or slow. If you want top-tier egg production and don't mind a more energetic bird, 1 or 2 Pearl Star Leghorns can balance out a backyard flock full of gentle giants. And if this is giving you ideas for your dream 6-hen flock, you might pause later and sketch a simple plan. 2 gentle giants, 2 steady winter layers, and 2 friendly family birds.
And if you'd like more help building that garden, coop, kitchen loop, feel free to tap like so this video reaches more families trying to do the same. We've talked about who to invite into your flock. Now let's talk about what you invite them into. Here's the small tweak I promised you in the beginning. Give each hen enough space and more than one place to eat and drink. It sounds simple, but it touches almost every bullying problem. Space, the quiet foundation. Aim for at least 4 square feet per bird inside the coop, 8 to 10 square feet per bird in the outdoor run, and 8 to 10 inches of roost bar per bird night. If you go below that, you almost always see more pecking and chasing, feathers disappearing on backs and tails, birds getting pushed off the roost. When you get the space right, the pecking order still forms. That's natural, but it doesn't turn into daily harassment. Double up the resources bullies care about. Next, add at least 2 feeders and 2 waterers far apart. One dominant hen can guard a single feeder. It's a lot harder for her to guard 2 feeders on opposite sides of the run. For a small backyard flock, this one change often flips the whole mood from tense to calm in just a few days. You can also add a few perches or platforms at different heights so lower-ranked hens can hop up out of the way. A couple of visual barriers, like a pallet on blocks or a large plant, so birds can break eye contact. Suddenly, a chased hen has somewhere to go. Roosters and resetting bullies. A quick word about roosters. If you keep one, aim for about 8 to 10 hens per rooster. Too many roosters or too few hens almost always means stress and overmating. If you have one hen who's become a serious bully, a simple reset often helps. Put her in a separate pen for a few days where she can still see the flock but not boss them around. Let the main flock settle, then reintroduce her. Often she will quietly slide down a notch in the pecking order and calm down. So when you combine peacemaker breeds, right amount of space, and duplicated feeders and waterers, you remove most of the reasons bullying starts in the first place. Now, what about when you want to add birds, new hens, to an older flock? Step 1. Quarantine. Never bring new birds straight into your existing coop. Keep them in a separate pen or small coop for about 30 days. Watch for sniffles, diarrhea, odd behavior. Let them get used to your climate, your routine, and your presence. Chicks should stay in a brooder until 16 to 18 weeks and be ready for layer feed before they meet the older hens. Step 2. See but don't touch. After quarantine, set up a side-by-side run or a safe divider. Let the old flock and the new birds see each other, hear each other, talk through the fence. Do that for a week or so. You'll see a lot of staring and chatting, but no one can actually land a peck yet. You're building familiarity without risk. Step 3. Supervised mixing. When you finally combine them, start in the run or yard, not the coop. More room, less panic. Do it in daylight when you can watch. Have those 2 feeders and 2 waterers already in place. Some chasing and pecking is normal. What you don't want is one bird getting pinned and attacked by several others or being kept away from food entirely. If it looks too rough, split them again and try in a day or 2. Step 4. Protecting your family. A quick but important safety piece. Backyard chickens are wonderful, but they can carry bacteria like salmonella. To keep everyone safe, keep children under 5 away from direct chicken contact. Don't kiss or snuggle birds close to your face. Have a pair of dedicated coop shoes that stay outside. Wash hands well after handling birds, eggs, or anything from the coop. Keep feed, bedding, and tools out of the kitchen and food prep areas. These small habits mean you can enjoy your flock without worrying, especially if you have grandkids visiting. Now here's a detail a lot of people skip and regret later. Always check your local zoning rules before you bring chickens home. A calm flock is best enjoyed when you know they're allowed to stay. If this helped you picture a calmer, safer flock in your own yard, you might want to save this video or share it with a friend who's just getting started with chickens. So, let's pull this together. By choosing calm, mixed flock-friendly breeds like Jersey Giants, Brahmas, Sussex, Buff Orpingtons, Cochins, Silkies, Wyandats, Australorps, Salmon Faveroles, Barred and Plymouth Rocks, Rhode Island Reds, and Pearl Star Leghorns, you stack the deck in favor of peace. By giving them the right amount of space, a couple of extra feeders and waterers, and a few places to perch and hide, you remove most of the reasons bullying starts at all. And by introducing new hens slowly, staying mindful of hygiene, and protecting kids with a few simple rules, you end up with a flock that supports your garden and your kitchen instead of a flock that stresses everyone out. In the end, that's what we're aiming for here. A small, steady rhythm of eggs, compost, and gentle company. A little garden, coop, kitchen loop that makes home feel more grounded. If you'd like all these ideas, from breed choices to coop layout and safe handling, in one simple place, we put together a short guide called Backyard Chicken Basics. It walks you through setting up a calm, family-friendly flock step by step without overwhelm. If this video helped, feel free to like it, subscribe for more family yard ideas, and check the next video on your screen to keep building your backyard flock one simple, peaceful habit at a time.